Hello dudes and dudettes, JoeHooker11 here, bringing you a all-new battle set in the American Revolution that is going to be, obviously, as you've watched my videos, an alternate battle. Now this particular battle, we're taking you back to August 16th, 1780. The two forces are I don't know why I said George, but Horatio Gates, his army of the South, against Lord Cornwallis with his army of, his British army. And this is set in South Carolina at the Battle of Camden, which was fought on August 16th, 1780. I don't remember if actually, I'm pretty sure I said that at the beginning. But this was part of the Southern strategy in which the British decided, well, we've been having a lot of problems up here in the north against George Washington and whatnot. We're going to move our troops to the south. We're going to move a major force to the south, led by Lord Cornwallis, and General Cornwallis is going to take the Americans from the rear, basically. Move up from the south and retake the colonies that way. And he came very close to it, especially after the Battle of Camden. Horatio Gates was sent down, going, okay, I'm going to lead the Continental Army down here, the militia down here, and I'm going to defeat Lord Cornwallis before he gets too close. But he failed to do so, and the battle was so bad, so much of a bungle of fire, he lost 51% of his troops. And the 51% of his troops that was lost, well, most of them were captured. Over half of them were captured. The only reason he wasn't court-martialed by Congress was because of the fact he had very powerful friends. But anyways, so with that being said, we will start the battle. Lord Cornwallis' army, it does outnumber my own. Well, actually, I outnumber his, but mine are more... His are more experienced than my troops are, because they've had, well, time to... They've won a couple battles. Okay, so here we go. Start moving this group. Moving 6-pound artillery. Now, what I was trying to do with this is move my artillery more toward the center location. Well, besides these guys are right here. Now, these militia infantry were basically going to act as my skirmishers during this battle. And let's look over here to see what the British are doing. They're moving their troops out in mass. You got the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, and let's just take a close look at these guys. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. See the long lines. Let's go back to my force now. Over here I'm pushing up. Basically, I divided my army up into basically 3 factions. Now you got this line infantry over here, including the 1st Delaware, which is kind of an elite unit. And they're going to kind of be my second line. These guys over here, I believe these guys right here were going to be my reserves, I think. Or maybe not. It's been a few days since I actually played the battle, but you kind of see I have kind of a staggered formation here, where these troops are going to push out a little bit further. They're going to act as my skirmishers, like I said. These guys, yes, these guys are going to be my reserves. I've got my artillery all lined up back here, several batteries. My light dragoons are over here, and boom. Here comes the dragoons of the enemy. I should have used Bannister Tarleton's dragoons, but I didn't. Okay, but here we go. So this militia infantry, oh, they almost got hit by their own artillery. Oh, they did. I'm not sure what exactly I was doing with those guys when I did that, but my dragoons are coming up behind them, and they're going to fire at them. The British artillery are firing. They're firing. I forget what exactly type of one that is. Shot it is, but forming out my militia, dragoons, and I think these guys I'm going to end up after, oh, just like that, firing them in the backs. But these guys, I'm going to try to circle around. I'm going to try to take out their artillery. The British are getting close. You got my right flank over here, left flank over there. The British are firing massive volleys at my men. And there goes the dragoons, firing into the ranks of them. But we're going to have our first mass volleys. Oh, just look at those bullets as they rip through these Americans. Firing. And there's these two lines over here. I am not going to push forward these men over here. You go, well, why don't you move them over here? Well, what I want to do is I'm sacrificing these militiamen to weaken the British forces. Like these forces right here, they've lost a couple men. These guys, no. These guys, there's been some casualties on the British lines. And the battle is going to basically become two mass volleys. You got the British all over the place, firing. And they're going to rout. And the main battle is being joined on the right flank. Oh, just look at these guys. The main battle hasn't been joined yet over here. Now, you might go, well, wait a second. You've got to, they're about to flank you. Why didn't you move more troops over there? Well, that's what these guys were for. This is, move them up in here. I plugged the gap. And then look what happens. I plugged the gap, and then I have flanked these guys over here. Oh, and just look at all those guys go down. You got artillery all over the place. The Dragoons got defeated pretty early, but these guys are actually, I think, going to rally. And these British troops, they are militia. They're going to try to take on my Americans, and they're going to hit them. Let's watch from their viewpoint. And just look. Just get completely wasted. But just look at that beautiful battle line. From this point, what I believe the next thing I did is swing these troops on over. But we shall see. Oh. Just look at that. My general's over here. He lost a few guys, but Horatio Gates is fine. You got troops routing over there. And honestly, oh, and there goes these guys. They broke. The main problem that I'm going to have is over on this flank. Just because of the fact that they posted most of their experienced troops over here against these guys. And here they come. There we go. Now I'm beginning to flank. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't start flanking them earlier. Look at these. The 2nd New York. And I've got shrapnel. I ordered the shrapnel to fire that way. Oh, and just look at this single unit. I'm pulling back strategic withdrawal. And these guys, I don't know why I didn't turn them around to flank them, but just look at this. I just completely destroyed these guys with my troops. and I'm moving them forward, and I'm going to take on these two guys over here, and we're going to zoom over to here, and we're going to look from the viewpoint of the Americans over here. You got troops all over the place, and wheel them around, and they're being shot down even as they're trying to wheel. And the artillery, does it get a few canister shots off? I believe so. No! No! Okay. Got the line infantry here. This is actually one of the units that left beforehand that got routed. They stayed put. They rallied, and then they're back in the fight. The militia units didn't, though. Oh, look at that canister shot. Being hit from all sides. And over there, my units are all breaking, except for this line infantry over here, which is rallied. Now, why did I move this guy over there to protect these guys? Well, what I wanted to do was, and these guys lost a few more guys, was I wanted to focus upon getting these guys defeated. If you ever let up on the enemy in this game, especially the British, where I have units of the British that are veterans, they rally and could add their own firepower on it. So like this guy over here, he's basically going to be sacrificed for the greater good, basically. But these British, these line infantry, they're down to 27 men, but they're like, they're like, sir, we are going to hold this ground until tea time. Okay. I think it's game time. But here we go. We're moving. We're going to flank these guys over here. We're going to have basically kind of like a V shape. And you got these American troops over here. I'm moving them forward to kind of keep them in place. I don't want these guys to move over there and support these guys. I wanted this battle to be very much the way to beat them is piecemeal. And a few British fall down, and they immediately start turning towards these guys. That's exactly what I want. You got this line infantry over here. That is kind of really bad. But I'm going to move them forward, and I'm going to try to keep these guys from being able to completely join them. And look at that. Oh, and shrapnel's taking out my own guys over there. Here we go. Let's look at this charge. Hand-to-hand combat by 2 units, both line infantry. Oh, that's the 33rd Foot. Well, I think there's British line infantry. There's 2 British regiments that charge at 1 American unit. These guys come forward. And now I am master of the battlefield. You just kind of look up at this, and my artillery is still having a heyday shooting my own guys. But just look over here, how the battle just kind of spread across this entire area. Yeah, and there might have been some of you guys that are like, you suck! You're a terrible player. And these guys over here, they're still holding their wavering, but they're still holding down to 22 men before they finally routed. And so they're moving forward. But by this point in time, the British forces are completely on power. This militia unit here, I'm basically holding them in reserve. You've got these guys all falling apart. I've got my artillery firing shrapnel shots at them. We've got this line infantry unit firing on the 33rd Foot. It's like from cinematic viewpoint. You got Americans moving all up down there. And there comes the British General Cornwallis He's like, we're going to rally, men. For king and country. So they're just reloading all these troops. And we're going to watch them unleash a massive volley at the enemy. And these guys are moving them behind so that way they can a strategic withdrawal. So that way these guys can take over. Oh, here they come. So we get a few cinematic shots. And I've got units over behind. Here they go. Moving forward. And just look at this. So they're going to have a heyday with these guys. I don't remember if these guys actually are close enough though to fire. These guys are about to withdraw. And I'm moving this line infantry up to basically bolster the flank here to extend it. The British, they're trying to wheel around. At this point in time, they start getting confused. As well they should. Here we go. And more American troops are pushed forward. It's like in New York. And well, let's look from the British viewpoint. Now the British basically right now, they're doing their last stand, and they're not even doing a very good last stand. Oh, and just look at these guys, they're being completely demolished, and the 33rd Foot, and they all decide to retreat, and Lord Cornwallis is like, okay, time to go. Time to leave. But yeah, this was a completely great battle. I think it was one of the best battlefield successes I've had in this series, and this is a great way to actually wrap up the 5 battles of the American Revolution that we were going to do for these battles. Enemy off on a victory. And as we kind of look back at all the different battles and whatnot, Princeton was as a British, that was a defeat. Germantown was a victory, where playing as the Americans. The third battle was I forgot what the third one was, but I think there was 3 defeats, well, 3 victories and 2 defeats, and my defeats were as British. Go figure. But let's look at the battle. I did outnumber the British just like it was in actual history. However, there was almost a 2-to-1 advantage on the side of the Americans compared to the British. But, you know, whatever. My losses were 793 compared to 2121, and the enemy, I killed 1143 of them, and they killed 683. A lot of my guys were hit by canister from behind as they were moving. I probably should have paused my canister fire when I was moving my guys, but yeah, so this was a really great battle. I hope you guys enjoyed this last battle of the American Revolution. Comment, like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments below what battle you would like to see next, because I would really enjoy, well, what war you'd like to do next. I would do War of 1812, but there really isn't a good mod for War of 1812. I might do the French Indian War. I might do the Napoleonic Wars. But yeah, just leave comments down below. Let me know what you guys think, and we shall talk to you guys later.